Hi everyone, today I'm going to be talking to you about different forms of energy. So what are other forms of energy? Objects can have other forms of kinetic and potential energy. We've already talked about two types of potential energy, being gravitational potential energy and elastic potential energy, but there are more types. And these other forms are associated with the particles that make up the objects. One of these forms is thermal energy. You probably remember talking about this in our states of matter unit. So particles that make up objects are always in motion. This means that they have kinetic energy, because remember, kinetic energy is the energy of motion. The way the particles are arranged in different objects, so remember that in a solid, the particles are really close together and they vibrate, and then in liquids, they can move around each other, and then in a gas, they're spread apart and they move around really fast. The way that these particles are arranged is what gives them potential energy. So thermal energy is the total kinetic and potential energy of the particles in an object. And an example of thermal energy is boiling water. Another form is electrical energy, and this is the energy of electric charges. So whether or not this is kinetic or potential depends on if the charges are moving, so they'd be kinetic, or stored, where they'd be potential. And some examples are batteries, electrical wires, and lightning. Electromagnetic energy is a form of energy that travels through space in waves, and they can travel through empty space, so a vacuum. The source of the waves is vibrating electrical charges, and some examples of electromagnetic energy are X-rays, radio waves, and microwaves. And finally, there's sound energy, which is a form of energy that also comes from vibrations like electromagnetic energy, but sound waves need an object to travel through, such as air. And some examples of sound energy are sound that comes from your musical instruments or voices, so there's vibrations that create that sound. You have 4 flashcards for this section, and they are thermal energy, electrical energy, electromagnetic energy, and sound energy.